Imagine a tiny, unremarkable bank branch in Estonia, a country with a GDP of about $30 billion. Now, what if I told you this single branch managed to launder $230 billion? That's not a typo. 230 billion, that's more than 7 times the entire country's economy, funneled through one little office. This isn't a spy movie plot. This is the true story of the Danske Bank scandal, the largest money laundering case in history, where a staggering $230 billion vanished into the global financial system. And today, we're going to break down how it happened. Let's rewind a bit. Our story starts in 2007, when Danske Bank, Denmark's largest lender, acquired a Finnish bank called Sampo Bank. Along with it, they got Sampo's small Estonian branch. At the time, it seemed like a standard business deal. But this Estonian branch had a very special, very secretive department, its non-resident portfolio. This unit catered almost exclusively to clients from outside Estonia, mainly from Russia and other former Soviet states. And it was a goldmine. While the rest of Danske Bank was struggling after the 2008 financial crisis, this tiny branch was posting unbelievable profits. The profits were so huge, they should have been a massive red flag. Instead, for a while, they were celebrated. So, how did they do it? The scheme was surprisingly simple in its audacity. The non-resident unit opened thousands of accounts for shell companies, many of which were registered in the UK and British Virgin Islands. These weren't real businesses with employees or offices. They were just paper companies, existing only to move money. Dirty money from questionable sources in Russia and Azerbaijan would be wired into these accounts at Danske Bank Estonia. Once the money was inside a European Union bank, it was essentially cleaned. From there, it could be moved anywhere in the world, appearing as legitimate funds. The transactions were often disguised with fake invoices for goods and services that were never actually delivered. Think millions of dollars for textiles or building materials, sent between companies that had no history of trading such things. The sheer volume was staggering. On some days, the branch was processing billions in transactions for these phantom clients. The system relied on a few key things. First, lax oversight. The Estonian financial regulators were under-resourced and simply couldn't keep up with the thousands of suspicious companies. Second, internal complicity. Within the branch, a close-knit group of bankers handled these accounts, often turning a blind eye to the obvious warning signs, allegedly in exchange for very generous bonuses. They ignored the fact that the true owners of these companies were hidden, that the stated business activities made no sense, and that the money was coming from higher-risk jurisdictions. The first real warnings didn't come from regulators, but from within. In 2013, a whistleblower named Howard Wilkinson, who was a high-level trader in the Estonian branch, started noticing some seriously strange things. He saw a UK-registered company with a London address that was supposedly trading huge amounts of copper. But when he looked them up, the company's financial records showed almost no activity. He found account after account like this, all with signs of being shell corporations used for money laundering. Wilkinson wrote a series of damning reports to the executives in Dansk's headquarters in Copenhagen. He laid it all out: the suspicious clients, the fake trades, the potential involvement of the Russian intelligence service, the FSB, and even members of Putin's family. And what did the bank's leadership do? For a while, basically nothing. They conducted a few internal audits that were criticized as being superficial and slow. They were making too much money to shut the operation down quickly. It was a classic case of profits over ethics. While Danzig's leadership in Copenhagen dragged their feet, the international pressure was mounting. In the United States, regulators started to notice huge flows of dollars passing through Danske Bank's correspondent accounts at American banks like J.P. Morgan Chase and Bank of America. They started asking questions. Simultaneously, a major investigation into another scheme, the Russian laundromat, revealed that Danske Bank Estonia was a key player. Finally, in 2017, the story broke in the international press. A Danish newspaper, Berlingske, published a series of articles based on leaked documents, exposing the massive scale of the operation. The scandal exploded. Danske Bank was forced to launch a proper, independent investigation. The results, released in 2018, were devastating. The report confirmed that a very large part of the $230 billion that flowed through the branch was suspicious. The fallout was immense. The CEO and several top executives were forced to resign. The bank's stock price plummeted, wiping out billions in value. The Estonian branch was shut down completely. Criminal investigations were launched in Denmark, Estonia, France, and most importantly, the United States. In Estonia, several former bank employees were arrested. The ultimate cost to the bank came in late 2022 when Danske pleaded guilty to U.S. criminal charges and agreed to pay a staggering $2 billion in fines to settle the case. But the story isn't just about fines and disgraced bankers. It's about the real-world impact of that dirty money. Money laundering on this scale enables corruption, organized crime, and authoritarian regimes. The $230 billion that passed through Danske Bank wasn't just numbers on a screen. It represented stolen wealth from ordinary people, propping up corrupt systems. The Danske Bank scandal serves as a stark reminder of how vulnerable our global financial system is. It showed that even a major, reputable bank in a stable European country could be co-opted to become a laundromat for the world's dirty money. It exposed a culture of greed where clear warnings were ignored for years because the profits were too good to pass up. And it all started in one tiny branch, a place you'd walk past without a second thought, hiding the biggest money laundering scandal the world has ever seen. It makes you wonder how many other tiny branches are out there right now, doing the exact same thing. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as mind-blowing as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden world of finance. See you next time.